The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. Police investigating the country's latest murders. An environmental impact assessment finding poor water quality at the proposed hospital site. And in our discussion today, we are talking with the Minister of Economic Affairs about the budget and about the cost of living in the country and what's being done about it. That's all ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, June 17th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us, and that discussion with the minister is going to continue into business our 9 o'clock hour this morning. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, police busy investigating a number of violent and deadly incidents over the past few days. In one of the latest, a father of two who worked for 20 years at Jet Aviation on Coral Harbor, shot and killed right after he arrived for work around 6 a.m. Sunday. The victim was identified as Giovanni Roll, a ramp manager. Our police did not provide the identification. They gave Roll's age as 38. Police say the victim, upon arriving for work, was approached and shot multiple times by the occupant of a white Nissan Note. He was taken to the hospital where he died. Roll had reportedly parked his car outside of Jet Aviation on the neighboring Bahamas Air property. Later in the morning, police arrested a 25-year-old suspect in the domestic terminal of Lyndon Pindling International Airport. An individual close to Roll's family who spoke without expectation of attribution said relatives were understandably devastated, saying that he was a super quiet guy. The suspect in custody is reportedly connected to a female employee at Jet Aviation. In another incident that took place on Saturday, a man was killed by his brother who ran over him with a vehicle. Police say the two men were in a Nissan Note at the intersection of Milo Butler Highway and Carmichael Road when they got into an altercation. The younger brother reportedly hit his older brother with an object and fled the vehicle. But the older brother, a 43-year-old man, chased after him in the vehicle and hit him, killing him on the scene. Speaking from the crime scene, Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings saying that children need to be taught how to resolve conflicts peacefully. Another incident Thursday night, a woman was shot dead in Nassau. Police say around 9 p.m., a group of women went to a home on Vispin Road off Cowpen Road and confronted a man and a woman in the house. The man shot one of the women, killing her on the scene. Police say 4 women and 1 man were in custody in connection with that matter. The incidents raised the murder count for the year to 57. 3 people were also injured in 2 stabbings over the weekend. According to police, around 11:30 p.m. on Saturday, a 33-year-old man was at Western Esplanade when he got into an argument with a man he knows who stabbed him in his upper body. The victim was taken to the hospital where he was listed in critical condition. Then around 4 a.m. on Saturday, 2 men were stabbed at a nightclub on Nassau Street. Both were hospitalized. Water samples collected from the proposed site for the new hospital on New Providence found that the site is contaminated. That's according to an environmental impact assessment report. The report, which was done by JSS Consulting, said the results of the test showcase that the water quality is contaminated and there is cause for concern. It said, quote, water quality analysis displayed that each parameter tested exceeded the recommended range set in place by the regulatory agencies. These results can be due to leakages of septic systems in the surrounding communities, coupled with waste that was generated by past squatters and concurrent watershed events from a mining site on the southern perimeter of the property. The report also said a comprehensive plan needs to be created to rectify leakages in the surrounding community's septic tanks and systems, removing structures and waste generated by squatters, and install a proper drainage system to redirect the water and alleviate the flooding. The hospital is going to be funded through a $290 million concessional 20-year loan from China Export-Import Bank with an interest rate of 2%. The Court of Appeal refusing to reopen the concluded appeal of a convicted murderer. Joel Bullard was convicted of the 2019 murder of Gary Leon on March 1st, 2021, and subsequently sentenced to 31 years imprisonment. The Court of Appeal upheld Leon's conviction in 2022 despite finding that the jury had been allowed to hear inadmissible hearsay evidence. Nonetheless, the appellate court found that there was other evidence that supported his conviction. In April 2024, Bullard's lawyer, Craig Butler, sought to convince the Court of Appeal to revisit Bullard's conviction on the basis that the indictment on which he was charged was flawed. The court rejected the application to reopen the appeal and noted that Bullard had not exercised the option of challenging his conviction to the Privy Council. And a Supreme Court judge last week directed jurors to acquit a man accused of carjacking outside a popular club. Prosecutors alleged that Delvon Pinder, otherwise known as Deli, robbed John Lee Paul of a 2012 Nissan Cube, a Samsung cell phone valued at $700, and a Wi-Fi box. The incident took place allegedly outside the Primetime Lounge on February 27, 2022. Paul had just parked his vehicle when 2 men, one of whom was carrying a handgun, approached him. According to Paul, robbers forced his wife, who was fixing her shoes, out of the vehicle before they sped off. Justice Gregory Hilton upheld a no-case submission made by Pinder's lawyer, David Cash. As a result, he directed the 9-member jury to acquit Pinder. Police also investigating a number of traffic fatalities. 2 people were killed over the weekend. Around 11 p.m. on a Saturday, a Ford F-250 truck was traveling west in the Treasure Key area of Apico, and a Suzuki Carry was traveling east when they collided. Police say that while the passenger of the Suzuki got out of the vehicle, the driver had been extracted with the jaws of life and died on the scene. Another took place on a Friday near Jackfish Drive and Carmichael Road in Providence. Police say that around noon, the driver of a black Dodge Ram truck was traveling east along Carmichael when a man tried to cross the street and was struck and killed by the vehicle. That victim was 62 years old. The driver remained on the scene and was assisting police with the investigation. Overseas, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu dissolving the influential war cabinet tasked with steering the war in Gaza. Israeli officials say this move comes days after a key member of the body bolted the government over frustration surrounding the Israeli leader's handling of the war. The move was widely expected following the departure of Benny Gantz, a centrist former military chief. That happened earlier this month. Gantz's absence from the government makes Netanyahu more dependent on his ultranationalist allies to govern, and the dissolution of the war cabinet underlines that shift as the 8-month-long war in Gaza drags on. Haitian leaders have ousted Franz Elbe, the beleaguered director of Haiti's National Police, following months of criticism that he wasn't doing enough to protect officers under assault by gangs. A government official not authorized to speak to the media told the Associated Press on Saturday that former Haitian Police Chief Normil Rameau will once again take the helm of an underfunded and ill-equipped department that a UN report notes only has about 4,000 officers on duty at a time in a country of more than 11 million people. Rameau has been dismissed from the post nearly 4 years ago under a different administration. More than 2,500 people have been killed or injured across Haiti in the first 3 months of the year as gang violence continues to surge. And a landslide surged over a highway in central Ecuador, killing at least 6 people Sunday and leaving 30 others missing. This as heavy rains pummeled the country and caused rivers to overflow. The flood of mud and debris plowed down the hillside and hit 3 cars, 2 houses, and a bus in an Ecuadorian resort city. The deputy fire chief there telling the Associated Press that rescuers were treating 9 injured and had retrieved 6 bodies from the disaster site, while 30 more people were believed to be trapped by the mud. In sports, Bayman athletes showing up and showing out at the 3rd annual NACAC New Life Invitational. The Race to Paris continues mega international event at the Thomas Robinson National Stadium Sunday. There weren't any additional Bahamian qualifiers for the Paris Olympic Games at the end of the one-day meet, but quite a few were barely off the standards in their respective events. Collegiate athletes Wanya McCoy and Terrence Jones led the way in the men's 100 meters. University of Florida Gators sophomore McCoy won the A final in 10.06 seconds, and Texas Tech University Red Raiders junior Jones took the B final in 10.13 seconds. Together, they teamed up to help the Bahamas A squad win the men's 4x100 meter in 38.89 seconds. Texas Tech sophomore Antoine Andrews led off that relay. Jones ran the second leg. Ian Kerr ran third, and McCoy anchored. Trinidad and Tobago finished second in 38.99 seconds. Haiti, third in 39.52 seconds. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. We got your first look at weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. We have a surface to low-level trough extending across the southern Bahamas. That's going to create some cloudiness and showers across the southeast Bahamas today as high pressure dominates the remainder of the islands. A number of special warnings. Mariners in the southeast Bahamas should be alert as there's potential for waterspout and funnel cloud activity. Beachgoers in the northwest Bahamas should exercise caution due to the threat of rip currents along east coast beaches at Atlantic exposures. For all areas today, forecast calls for partly sunny, warm, and breezy conditions across the northwest and central Bahamas to partly cloudy with a few isolated showers and the chance of isolated thunderstorms in the southeast Bahamas today. Mostly fair and a bit breezy tonight with a stray shower or two possible across all areas. Small craft operators in the northwest Bahamas should exercise caution. Winds northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots in the northwest Bahamas, 10 to 15 in the central and southeastern islands. Seas 4 to 6 feet in the northwestern islands, but 2 to 4 feet in the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperature-wise, today we're looking at highs getting to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 78 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit. Your first look at weather brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Easy Car Sales has done it again. First there was BYD, then Jack. Now Radar pickup trucks by Geely are joining the all-electric family. With 8 years of experience and 3 quality brands to choose from, there's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales, home of the electric vehicle. Visit easy242.com to see all the many options for ditching the pump and driving electric.
Wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for a break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at morningblend969 or facebook.com/morningblend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Deandra Cartwright. Deandra, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight Strachan. How are you?
Not bad. Great to have you with us.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Hope you had a wonderful weekend.
Oh, listen, I'm recovering from a very bad bout of food poisoning or this tummy bug thing that's going around, but much better than last week. Yeah.
When you partied too hard in Long Island.
No. It's like I came back from Long Island. Mm-hmm. I came here and I did the show. And it must be because I left the show and then my body was like, no.
Go back.
No. You need to stay on the air.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Before we dive any deeply into anything, I just want to, if I can, give a shout out to a special young lady who's graduating from primary school today.
Oh, wow.
My niece, Dan Vernay. So just wishing you a very happy graduation today that she's Palmdale Primary.
Excellent.
Is having their ceremony this morning.
Congratulations.
And a pre-shout out to my nephew, James, who will be graduating tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
You're
our
very
family
busy.
back to back.
Excellent.
Back to back.
And I hope everybody had a wonderful Father's Day and
Yes.
everybody got treated well.
Happy belated Father's Day to all the
Yes, to
fathers out
everybody.
there and father figures. We always forget that there are those who may not have been biologically involved, but have played a role in so many others' lives,
Indeed.
and especially in our society where we have so many homes that don't have fathers. Your role, whether that is as a teacher, a mentor, or whatever it may be, to our young people, that shows us, as we've heard from Ms. Skippings over the weekend, that it's important for positive input and impact into our kids' lives as they get older for many different reasons.
Absolutely.
So cheers to you.
Well said. All right, so that coming up this morning, we're going to be talking with the Minister of Economic Affairs, Development. That's Senator Michael Pintard. He's going to be joining us.
Michael Pintard, here we
What did I
go.
say? Halkitas.
Halkitas.
Thank you so much for picking that up. Wow.
You know what?
Senator Michael Halkitas.
The
Thank you.
tea.
You
Let's
don't have
get
to say it
another
like that,
tea
though.
bag.
You don't have to say it like that. Ooh, you got it's a little mistake. Halkitas.
No,
will be joining us.
Dwight, you're human.
Oh, yeah, and I need more sleep.
You always need more sleep.
So he's going to be joining us, and that's going to go into business as well.
Oh, that's great.
And we're going to be talking about the budget, but really about the state of the economy. What's happening?
Well, I think, off the back end of our conversation last week, that'll be quite important for us to not focus solely on the budget, but the exact state of the
Right.
economy.
How we're going to feel it as consumers, individual citizens, how we, right? How
Because
that's gonna
I
impact
think there
us.
was an analytical piece, or at least it was reporting some analytics on really what the numbers mean last week. I think it was Guardian actually that was talking about the differences as we were discussing with the stopover numbers, what that really means for the economy, that sort of thing. So if we're going to be quoting that the economy is seeing a particular trend, i.e. we have more visitors coming, but the reality is that it's only giving us a 2% increase when it really should be more. We want to hear more about that.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes coming up this morning. But let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, just a horrible, violent weekend. Just unbelievable. And most of these sounded like domestic incidents, right? And not crimes per se, but
Crimes of passion.
Perhaps you're right. Interpersonal issues, relationships, or
Resolution or lack thereof.
yeah. And just awful, a lot. It's hard to keep track of it. There were a number of stabbings,
But the thing
a
is,
number of
Dwight,
fatal shootings.
It goes back to, I think we've said many times on the show before, where we as a people, we need to put more focus on the mental state of our citizenry. Do we actually prioritize mental health? Do we prioritize emotional intelligence? Are these things that we're focusing on and we're teaching not only our young people, but our grown adults? Because these are, I want to say, relatively new concepts, but in the way that it's more available to the general public to consume what those things mean, and things like counseling and whatnot to stop demonizing and that, and actually try to flesh out your feelings. Maybe get a mediator, get somebody who is an objective third party if you're having an issue, that sort of thing. But our first instinct is to get up and go do something to that person.
Well, that's the thing. That's the weird thing about it, right? Because the first instinct is to generally, in most cases, grab a gun, which is supposed to be among the hardest things
my
in
boys
the world
or my girls
to find.
to go in, do some things.
And then those people have a gun when you come and deal with them, right? But why is that so easy? It's so easy. But you're right. And as I've said before, it doesn't matter if it's a gun; they'll find something. As we see in one of these incidents today, it involved the car. So whatever they'll find,
A car, a weapon in the car, like a crowbar.
whatever it is, that's what'll happen.
The be all end all is that it's an act of violence as opposed to trying to go down the road of conflict resolution. The route is violence. Let's just sort this out. And again, I'm going to continue to reroute that back to the home, to society. What are we seeing? What are our people seeing? In their youth, in their adulthood, but in their communities, in their home, in their neighborhoods, in the schools, in the workplaces. For goodness sakes, we have altercations on the job that are happening more frequently or at least we're hearing more about it, because with social media, everything becomes so universally accessible. Like, for instance, say if there was a particular incident that occurred in a particular place, workplace, within 5 seconds, that can become what's up viral.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. No one's trying to separate things anymore. They're just trying to record.
Right. So they become WhatsApp famous, Twitter famous, and we all know about Bahamian Twitter. And then the thing about it is with the accessibility of social media, it doesn't just stay inside our community. Like, I just saw one of our, there was something that was going around within Bahamian social media, and I saw it on a West Indian page, and I was like, y'all, do we understand how viral our things can actually be, where they go outside of the country, in the region, and on the international stage? Like, funny thing, do you ever saw that video? And this is not a violent thing. You saw the video with somebody must be bringing crabs back from Andros, I don't know where, but inside years ago on the conveyor belt, right?
That's all over the world.
Right. So I think that's becoming viral again because one of the UK news outlets actually brought it up over the weekend. And I was like, yo, like, are you all just seeing this? But they revived it.
Okay. Wait, it never goes away. Once it's put up, it never goes away.
And then going back to physical altercations and these things that we like to record or whatnot, it doesn't go away. Not just on social media, but, you'll have criminal records or whatnot. But then when we look at the efficacy of the criminal justice system.
Yeah. Well, conflicts will arise. It's just the way that you handle it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. But we know what it is. We've talked about this for decades. The way we speak to each other is violent, right? People are telling their kids from their toddlers, "I'll kill you if you touch that."
Right.
Right.
Then there's also the hypermasculinity involved in it too, because if you try to talk it out, you mean much of a man. There's also that. We have to say that.
Okay. Well, I don't know who's fighting more than women these days. So I don't know. We got toxic everything in this country. Everything.
Toxicity. This is true.
That's insane.
I actually overheard a guy say that he likes when women fight over him. Right. I'm like, women. Maybe I don't want to say I live in a bubble, but it's like I can't see myself fighting over a man. Like, oh, you go and take him, but like, why? Is it that important? But for some people it is. And is it that we prioritize other humans above ourselves? In which way and why? But if we take a step back and we look at the why, socioeconomics also plays a role inside this, right? Because if the man is the breadwinner, if you're not making enough money to sustain your family, and this is the man that's supplementing your income, then yes, you want to protect that.
That's not what this is.
That's not what it is?
No.
No? I try to make too much sense.
Because, apparently, if that was the case, I mean, he's got 2 or 3 of you, and he's doing it.
No, but
so
no,
you're not going to lose it.
No, but think about it, right? Because
So
again,
that's
some
not it.
people, because keep in mind, if we look at the average of income for a man or a human, but in this case, we're looking at the man. A man in this day and time cannot sustain multiple households as they did back in the day, quote unquote, right?
I don't think that's what this is about at
No.
all.
No?
No. It's not.
Okay.
Not. If only it were that deep.
It only
It's
was
just greed and selfishness, and yeah.
You know, I keep trying to make sense
people
of
being
these things.
jerks. That's all that it is.
I really keep trying to make
Nah.
sense of things, but
No, not at all.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so if you missed it, call, we'll get to you in a second, but let me just let you know what we're talking about here. So our Rachel Scott writing about it today, and it's a lot, so let's see. So a father of 2 who worked for 20 years at Jet Aviation on Coral Harbor Road was shot and killed right after he arrived for work around 6 a.m. on Sunday. This was the latest incident in a string of violent incidents over the weekend. The victim was identified as Giovanni Roll, a ramp manager. While police did not provide that identification, they gave Roll's age as 38. Police say the victim, upon arriving for work, was approached and shot multiple times by the occupant of a white Nissan Note. He was taken to the hospital by EMS where he died. Roll had reportedly parked his car outside of Jet Aviation on the neighboring Bahamas property. Not sure if that is significant, but who knows. Later in the morning, police arrested a 25-year-old suspect in the domestic terminal of Linden Pindling Airport. An individual close to Roll's family who spoke without expectation of attribution said relatives were understandably devastated. They said, quote, Gio was a super quiet guy. He could walk into a room and walk out of the next side and nobody ever sees him or hears him. So this happening to Gio is baffling to us. The suspect in custody is reportedly connected to a female employee at Jet Aviation. This is, again, the individual who spoke to the National Guardian said, quote, it sounds to me that the police were briefed by the other co-workers who were practically getting out of their cars at the same time, and there was not much mystery to the person or the suspect. We're told Roll, an immediate member of the Bow family who operates Jet Aviation, had a daughter and a son and was his mother's only son. The shooting did not impact operations at Jet Aviation, though. Well, in another incident that took place on Saturday, a man was killed by his brother who ran over him with a vehicle. Police say the 2 men were in a Nissan Note at the intersection of Milo Butler Highway and Carmichael Road when they got into an altercation. The younger brother reportedly hit the elder brother with an object and then got out of the vehicle and ran away. However, the older brother, a 43-year-old man, chased after him in the vehicle and hit him, killing him on the scene, according to information received by police. Speaking from the scene, Chief Superintendent Christine Skippings said children need to be taught how to resolve conflicts peacefully. She said, quote, I take this opportunity to encourage fathers to step up to the plate, be a role model for your children. Teach your children, especially the young men, how to resolve conflicts. We can't have these types of incidents occurring where we see siblings having minor conflicts and seeking violent ways to resolve them. And then on Thursday night, a woman was shot dead in Nassau. Police say that around 9 p.m., a group of women went to a home on Vispin Road off Cowpen Road and confronted a man and a woman in the house. Police say that the man shot one of the women, killing her on the scene. Police say 4 women and 1 man are in custody in connection with that matter. These incidents raising the country's murder count for the year to 57. But in addition to that, there were also a number of stabbing incidents. According to police, around 11:30 p.m. On Saturday, a 33-year-old man was at Western Esplanade when he got into an argument with a man he knows who stabbed him in the upper body. The victim was taken to the hospital listed in critical condition. Then around 4 a.m. on Saturday, 2 men were stabbed at a nightclub on Nassau Street, and they were also hospitalized. So all of that's happening in addition to traffic fatalities. One in Abaco, 2 vehicles collided, and then another in Nassau, where, a man hit a man who was crossing the street, and the victim, the pedestrian, was killed. So just a very sad, very violent weekend. Just always a lot going on. All right, let's get your reaction to it, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. No gangs, people who know each other or think they know each other or are related in some way. All domestic type matters here. The lack of a conflict, a way to peacefully resolve a conflict. Let's hear from you. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Holidays Strachan voice along with you and DeAndre, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
You need justice, law, and order in this country, the Bahamas. It seems as though you all that the Bahamas getting chill, man. To listen to you all, and other people, this country are just getting chill, It seems as though they want to take the blood to the horses with bridle. But the thing is, what causing this problem? Dwight, and you wouldn't say. None of you would say it. DeAndre Van Close said, the system is just filthy. Okay? The way the system's set up, not for poor people, especially poor black people, to get any assistance. And when you call the police, certain area they don't want to coming, and they're going to tell you they don't have any car, over and over and over. And they just talked recently about the cars, the transportation which the government had gotten. The system is just filthy, man, and it needs to change. We gotta if the one side in the House of Assembly now can fix the situation, then we gotta put some other people in there because this just doesn't make any sense. And the police got to stop this foolishness.
Okay,
Look like they're afraid to deal with some people. And Bremen saying that right in Spence Street of Mason's Edition.
Okay.
The system got to be changed.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, there are issues like what you're talking about. Again, these are interpersonal issues, domestic matters, people who have conflicts with each other. If you're not willing to deal with that, I don't know. Until there is a violent matter, I don't know when the police would get involved. So I don't know if we can blame them for this. But what happens afterward, perhaps. But let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning to both of you. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good morning.
Dwight, I want to direct you to a website if you haven't been there before. It's called worldometers.info. Ever heard of it?
I believe so.
Well, yeah, because I'm using it to do some research. What is showing as a striking piece of information to me is more men are being murdered more males being murdered than females, and more females are being born than males. So apparently the murdered men are deciding to come back as females. Look at the website, right?
I'm sure it's just really a minuscule number higher for women births than.
You think more women are being murdered than men?
No, I'm just saying it's not like it's a gigantic percentage difference. It's really. What are you trying to say?
Well, I'm just looking at statistics, and it's real time. If you can see it in real time, births this year, births today, deaths this year, deaths today.
It's not even 1%. It's not even 1% higher. I mean, barely if it's female to male birth. So I'm not sure, but we know it's always been that way with males murdering each other from the beginning of time, and that will the men are the ones doing the killing most of the time. But the last part you said, that correlation is a bit of a stretch. But okay, let's take another call. Boy, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Oh, good morning to you and your guest. There's a bit of information here. I just got in contact with a female. She's Bahamian. and she lives in Germany, now retired. But she comes over periodically, like every couple of years or something like that. But she's haven't been here for a long time, so we were talking, and she said, what's wrong with Nassau, man? I said, everybody's angry. And I said, it hit me inside my head. Look, I say, you observe that, because you are being, and you live in Germany, and you come in and you see that. I say, wow, we have an anger problem, man. That's the bottom line. That's what I have.
Yeah, I don't think it's just Nassau. I think it's the whole country. But yes, definitely a whole lot of violent incidents here in New Providence. But something's not right. Something is not right. And we're very quick to fly off the handle, and can't let things go.
Conflict resolution. Yeah. Lack of it.
Continue to call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Oh boy! All right, let's look at the text line. This texter says, oh my goodness. Wow. This is starting off the week on a very negative note.
Dear.
Oy, okay. Good morning, Dwight. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate the Commissioner of Police and the Minister of National Security for the zero impact their crime policies are having to cut down numbers while at the same time being able to collect a salary for that very job. Wow. Ride the wave behaviors. There's nothing we will not tolerate when it comes to a lack of accountability and value for money from public officials. Even death can unite us as a people. This is a very sad state. Well, this is part of the problem right here, right? So again, as we say, the police don't know if you and your girlfriend are having problems and one of y'all is cheating with somebody else and whether that person wants to do something to one of y'all, right? They won't know. And they won't know when that person shows up on your job and tries to hurt you until they're told.
Definitely not.
So in this regard, there's not much they can do. Other things, sure. But to bring this text up at this time is a bit unfair to the police. And all these incidents were domestic. All of them. So I don't know what you want them to do. Do you want them in your private life? Do you want them to know who your registered girlfriend is, who your wife is, and if you're ever seen out with this other person, you could be putting yourself in danger, and then they need to. Well, maybe that's what they want. Who is this woman? This is not your registered wife. We need to take you in for your safety.
No,
is that what you want?
Sounds like Stratford.
But maybe that's what people want.
The thing is that it takes the onus off the individual to actually hold themselves and those they associated with accountable. That's what that is.
Okay, well, so there you go. Anyway, this person says, I always have to say in the news with you when you say it, Dwight. Okay, that cute. Thank you.
In the news.
Okay.
Y'all made him laugh.
Right.
I love that.
That's great. So this is along with another story in the news today. You heard about this. The EIA, the Environmental Impact Assessment, found poor water quality at the proposed hospital site in New Providence, on New Providence Highway. The texter is asking, is it normal to build a hospital on a contaminated site? Well, I don't think they knew it was. That's why they're doing the Environmental Impact Assessment. And now they're finding this out. But it can be fixed, as the report states, tells you how.
I'm wondering how many other places on this 21/7 are
You don't
also.
want to know.
We don't want to know.
You don't want to know that.
Okay.
I hear that they plan to remediate, but my question is it normal to proceed with construction of a health facility after a site has been deemed contaminated, given that groundwater will have to be used in what should be a sterile environment? How much bad land can one person supply for public development over decades? And at what cost, at whose cost, is this contamination being addressed? Okay, now they're bringing up a name of a company. I don't know why they're bringing up that company's name. How about doing the small things we can? This is what now? It's clear there are a lot of people with impulse control. It's quite easy to retrain the brain, enforce the rules. Look at the road. People appear incapable of waiting. Enforce the rules. A few weeks ago, a senior government official threatened another individual on camera in front of the nation. When questioned about it, a union representative said, quote, "I don't want to get in it." What the union rep said this, the union rep said this on radio. If they don't school the members, HR doesn't school the members. The boss won't school the members. Who will? Everybody pretends like they're untouchable. All right, interesting points there. Yes, we do let a lot of things slide, and that fosters this feeling of entitlement and that you're untouchable, right? Yeah, and that creates part of the problem, and that you are too big a need to resolve conflict amicably. Yep. And they're also saying, I'm waiting for the next U.S. advisory that details people being shot and killed on buses, in tourist traffic areas, traffic stops at airports. I hope we aren't too shocked, as until this murder of a good man, shooting and killings were deemed normal with no one paying attention. Well, that's not correct at all, what you're saying, but okay. I guess that you're angry, but sure.
A lot of people are angry.
There are many faces of toxic femininity, which is women choosing to fight because they don't like each other. Deandra sounds like she hates men. What now?
What?
And should dedicate her time to ensuring... Oh, my goodness gracious. To ensuring... This is our friend who has... she should dedicate her time to ensuring that... to ensuring feminine hygiene products are recycled properly and not causing pollution like they do. Why doesn't she focus on females and stop worrying about men?
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's been a couple of weeks since I've been attacked, so it's, it's whatever.
They also say, I'm waiting to hear the crisis center come out and raise hell on the murder of the female and ignore all the murders of males this week.
Oh, gosh. I would say that I would welcome a conversation with this person, but I don't think I would, because both parties have to be open-minded about things, and I'm not sure if I meant any or said any of that. I don't understand that.
Because you said toxic masculinity.
Yeah, but I mean, toxic femininity also.
And we said that. After I said women are fighting as much as men in these videos, so it's everything. Everybody's got some toxicity. You said it too. So it's everybody. Okay. It's everybody. But okay. Anyway, this person says here, good morning. Can you ask Skippings, at what age do we stop blaming the parents for the actions of their grown 45, for their grown children? 45, 60?
I need a cup of tea.
What she's saying, though, is that nobody's very few seem to be teaching their children how to walk away, how to de-escalate a problem, how to handle an insult without, picking up something to stab somebody in the eye, right? So if you learn that as a child, when you get older and you are faced with an issue, you will be less likely to react in a crazy manner. That's all she's saying, right? So it's not that they're blaming the parents for that incident, but we keep seeing this continue. It's like a conveyor belt with more and more coming down. And so that's all she's saying. Everyone's taking the wrong things literally and not paying attention. I don't understand what's happening. Anyway, let's take this call. Good morning. Call, you're on the air.
Oh, yeah, Dwight, morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, well, you're right. This is not a police matter. Police only react after the incident. But individuals who may be in a relationship, married or not, you know what you're dealing with. Just step out of it. If it's legal, if you're married, then file for divorce. You don't have to kill each other, And then, personally, too, you have to get yourself an order with Christ. Get your life together, man. You don't have to be in an abusive relationship. Or if the woman ain't doing right and she married and she don't listen, then just go and file for divorce and get separation. You don't need to kill nobody. You can kill each other for what? And then you go in jail, right? And guess what? The woman right there. Right? So doing the same thing, if she is guilty, doing the same thing, doesn't that make any sense? Come on, guys. Move on. If you're being abused, just move on. It may hurt, for a short period of time, but you can imagine not being in jail, incarcerated, for killing somebody. That don't make no sense, man. So I encourage those, if you have problems, seek your some advice, or your pastor or your sister. Talk with them and move on with your life, man.
Yeah.
Because this don't make no sense. Heat of passion or whatever you call it, you know. But for God's sake, people, and prayer is important, man, Bahamas. Don't leave God out. That's the point. I got been through my fire and my storm, and I thank God I didn't do what I was to do the wrong thing. I did the right thing. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, everybody, men, women, everybody hear that. I mean, they can't be that special, right? Can't be that special. Baby daddy, baby mama, no matter what. Just, yeah, it's going to hurt, but move on. Like, if they call you again, like, no, you know what you did. I'm not even going to argue with you. Please, lose my number, forget it. Or if you have a kid, we can work out something. We'll have maybe, like you said, a mediator. We'll draw up some papers so that we can figure out how to do this amicably, but don't speak to me.
But again, you know, I think another element that we're not necessarily willing to admit is that as a society, culturally, we like drama. We I don't know, why do we get off on the excitement of certain situations? I don't. And the thing is that we relive them. So not only did the incident occur or is ongoing, but you repeat what has happened to others around you in an attempt to get clout of some kind, because we put some sort of importance onto it. So it's almost like we're performing for others. And why is that? I still I know that you say I'm thinking too deeply about it, but it has to be something deeply rooted in us for this to have been present in our people for so long, but also for it to be recurring. Mm-hmm. Because as the, what was that? We had a Bahamian in Germany who is now in Bimini or whatnot like that. We have acts of violence throughout the family islands. We just have more persons on New Providence, so we see it on a more frequent basis. But if we only knew about some of the things that happen on family islands that are not reported, or even those that are reported, like they literally will leave your mouth agape. Like you'd be wondering, is this really our little Bahama land? And yes, folks, it is.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Let's take another call before we take a break. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning to you, Dwight. Good morning, Ms. Cartwright, Alan Johnson.
Hi.
Hey, Dwight, concerning the hospital, right? You know, the hospital action only shows that this administration is very good at making an announcement and then trying to fit the pieces together afterwards. It's the same thing, you would consider that you're about to invest $300 million, that you would do the study, do everything in advance before you make the announcement. It's the same thing with BEC. It's the same thing with everything else that they do. It seems as if, though, it's more about making the news than it is about making sense. And I think it's time for us to begin to call them out and begin to consult. Let's use an example, the paycheck. Isn't it the same thing where they make the decision, then consult, then check to see if it's right? Something seems to be, donkey backwards in other decisions they make. And so we just need to just ask government, please, proper prior preparation prevents these piss poor performances. Thank you so much.
Okay, sure. I mean, yes, absolutely. But, I mean, this is a little bit, if you're talking specifically about the contamination, I mean, you never know. You never know these things, right? Even if everybody had agreed, you still could get a surprise once you do the report. So, but yes, it would be nice if they would. If they would consult more, absolutely. Let's read some messages before we go to the break. This person says here, okay, they're not forgetting. It continues in weeks later. Mutton again.
I mean, hopefully we have another opportunity later on this year to showcase our world famous Long Island mutton. Just saying, and y'all will hear about it.
You could always bring it next week. Tell Deandra she needed some mutton sauce over the weekend. This brings us back to former Prime Minister. What? What? Okay, I don't understand.
How
It's
they
something
mix up
totally different now,
themselves and-
but that's very weird. But yeah. Texter, it's not. It's your device. I know we get a few complaints, but it's not universal. It is not. I can turn it on for you right now. The texter says that the app isn't working, but
I mean, I see me on the phone.
yeah, we're there. It's there. So I don't know. See, that's the app. You're laughing. That's the app. So, right?
Oh, wow.
The app's working. So there's something with your going on.
Wow.
But,
Okay.
But yeah. And then people tell me that, and they're not listening on the app. They're listening on TuneIn or some other thing.
Oh.
So don't listen to our app.
You can literally have it on the app. I remember when I was abroad, actually, I had the app in order to tune in.
You don't have it anymore?
And I hear now. I mean, I
So,
can
how do
tune
you-
into our stations, I feel like I'm more grounded here.
Dwight, remember the man who killed his girlfriend because he said he left his wife for her and also spent $1 million on her so far?
Yo.
Okay, well it's crazy, right? That so what?
They're not isolated. They've been happening for a long time.
And then
across generations.
I mean, I think they're making the point how crazy things can get. But yes,
yeah.
but I mean, boy. And then that goes back to something in their childhood, right? Like, how did you that you possess this person now, and because you've put so much money into them, you right to terminate them?
That mentality still exists.
Oh, well, yeah.
And going back to the previous person that calls me a man hater, which I'm not, that happens in the reverse too. That are abused by the woman thing, right? We just don't hear much about it because the society. So if a man steps forward and says that he's being abused, he's going to get laughed at. Sorry, but that's the reality, and we need to change that. But you have those things happening. And a woman knows that she could do these things and get away with it.
Okay. And this text as we go to the break, and I don't know, I can't read that one. But that is horrible if that is real. And this text here, should not the reports and studies be conducted for feasibility, be it a project or a decision impacting people or workers?
Do we have process and protocols for these things?
Like,
you know what? Well, we will say we don't work for the persons who are doing it. That's what we say.
That's an interesting question, though. I mean, that's a lot of work to go through before
But it saves face, though.
right? But I don't. Anyway, we'll be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Well, I'm terrified of this skin on my soul, and all I need is you. Come, please, I'm calling. And all you ring, I'm falling, I'm falling. Show me what it's like. The last one standing. And teach me wrong from right. And I'll show you what I can do. And say it for me, say it to me. And I'll leave this life behind me. Say it if it's worth saving me.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:24, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Here's what's happening. We've got a surface to low-level trough extending across the southern Bahamas. That's going to generate some cloudiness and showers across the southeastern Bahamas today as high pressure dominates the remainder of the islands. Boaters in the southeast Bahamas should be alert as there's potentially waterspout and funnel cloud activity. And beachgoers in the northwest Bahamas should exercise caution due to the threat of rip currents along east coast beaches and Atlantic exposures. For all areas today, forecast calls for partly sunny, warm, and breezy conditions across the northwest and central Bahamas. Partly cloudy with a few isolated showers and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms in the southeast Bahamas today. Mostly fair and a bit breezy tonight with a stray shower or two possible across all areas. Smoke-craft operators in the northwest Bahamas should exercise caution. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 78 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook, we've got high pressure that's going to expand and strengthen across the islands, resulting in moderate to fresh breezes. Meanwhile, the trough of low pressure east of the Bahamas will lift northwestwards and approach the northern islands of the coast of southeast United States Thursday through Friday. More on that in a moment. We're watching that closely for development into a tropical system. But for Tuesday, tomorrow, partly sunny, warm, and a bit breezy with a chance of a few brief passing showers during the day. Mostly fair and warm at night with a stray shower or two possible. Smoke-craft caution will be in effect. Wednesday, partly sunny, warm, and breezy with a chance of a few brief passing showers during the day. Mostly fair and breezy at night with a stray shower or two possible. In the tropics, so we've got a couple of systems we're telling you about. So we told you about that trough of low pressure that is forecast to form a few hundred miles northeast of the central Bahamas in a day or two. And environmental conditions could be conducive for some development of that system. The system is forecast to approach the coast of southeast Florida on Thursday or Friday. Chance is still low, though, about 30% through the next 7 days. So we're watching that area that is very close to us. There's also a broad area of low pressure forecast to form over the southwestern Gulf of Mexico later today or tonight. Environmental conditions appear conducive for subsequent gradual development, and a tropical depression, a tropical storm, is likely to form by midweek. Formation chance through the next 5 days is high at about 70% through the next 7 days. Could be a problem for the Gulf states, especially Texas, in the next few days. That's your Morning Blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in store today. And time for a check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee auto loan with up to 100% financing. In your real-time traffic, we're seeing heavy traffic on Milo Butler Highway, but not as heavy as you normally see at this hour. And so it's just north of Fire Trail that you'll see the heavy traffic in front of you, just as you approach Harold Pond, if you're heading northbound to the roundabout with Tawny-Williams-Darling Highway. Traffic back to belong Tawny-Williams-Darling Highway as well, westbound, at this hour. Over on Gladstone Road, things looking pretty good for you, only until you get to Munnings Road, where you see that traffic in front of you if you're heading northbound towards JFK Drive. So clearly we are already in the summer pattern, as many of the schools are closed or closing this week, and so much more manageable traffic in the mornings for the next few months. Over on Blue Hill Road, it's busy, though, near Carmichael, and especially north of Soldier Road, if you're heading northbound on the way to the roundabout with Independence Drive. East Street also busy for you just north of Soldier Road as you approach the roundabout East-West Highway. And Robinson Road is busy just west of Soldier Road through the intersection with Old Trail on the way to the intersection with Marathon and East-West Highway. Marathon northbound and Soldier Road northbound, busy on the way to Wolf Road. Those are your main hotspots this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Visit rbc.com/carloan/all of you for more information.
you buying a home, renovating, or exploring mortgage options? With cash back and up to 90% financing, we'll find the perfect mortgage for you. Pre-qualify in just 60 seconds and get connected with a mortgage specialist today. Visit rbc.com/mortgages/all of you. RBC. Conditions apply.
Attention all Dunkin' lovers.
Are you ready to fly away this summer? Dunkin' has an irresistible offer just for you. During the month of June, every purchase of a dozen donuts at Dunkin' enters you for a chance to win big in the Father's Day Flyaway. 2 lucky winners will jet off on Bahamas Air with round-trip tickets to any Bahamas Air destination. Dads flying on Bahamas Air on Father's Day receive a special Dunkin' treat. Visit Dunkin' today and enter to win in the Father's Day Flyaway. The Bahamas flies on Dunkin'.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL. Growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Now let me see now. 326 EPIC. Hello? This Epic battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams Bahamas, and you'll surely find color in every day.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
Looking for great device deals and offers this summer? Look no further. Alive has special discounts on the latest smartphones, Ring devices, and accessories. Plus, as an Alive customer, you can expect exclusive yet extra offers and rewards, which means even more value for your money. We're talking more data, prizes, and surprises. Upgrade with us and experience the perfect summer with Alive in store or at bealive.com/deal.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
We all know that our country's electricity infrastructure is decades old. It is breaking down, it is too expensive, and it cannot transmit clean energy. Small changes aren't enough. We are taking it all on. Upgrading and modernizing the grid, solar power, major energy reform. That's how we get to lower prices and more reliable electricity. It will not happen overnight, but it will be game-changing.
Go to newenergyera.gov.bs to learn more.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
Iron bars can't hold my soul in. All I need is you. Come, please, I'm calling. And all I scream for you. Rain, I'm falling, I'm falling. Show me what it's like. The last one standing. And teach me wrong from right. And I'll show you what I can be. And say it for me, say it to me. And I'll leave this life behind me. Say it if it's worth saving me. Heaven's gates won't open up for me. With these broken wings I'm falling. All I see is you. These city walls.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, along with DeAndre Cartwright. If we need saving in here. All right. So to come back, don't ever swear for anybody, right? You always get yourself embarrassed. So I have two things to apologize to you for. So as soon as I said those things, suddenly the app and everything went down. So yeah, something's up now. Suddenly it was working, I'm telling you, but now, so we're working on it to figure out what's going on. It's still working on the video stream on your app. If you click studio, you'll be able to listen and hear us. Yep, that's us there. But otherwise, we've got a lot of issues on the website and the app at the moment. We're working to fix that, so apologies again. And then I have to apologize on behalf of Michael Halkitis, who is not going to be able to make it with us today. He says he's been called into an emergency meeting as getting ready to wrap up debate on the budget. So the Prime Minister is going to wrap up the debate, so they're working on that. So we have to reschedule that too.
Well, it's important to have that wrap up in Parliament a little bit more, fine-tuned. So we're sure that the Honourable Minister is doing his best to assist the Prime Minister with that.
Yeah.
Positivity.
Right. Okay, so we continue with what we were talking about this morning. The conflicts in the country, these problems that are leading to death, violence, and what we're going to do about it, as we said earlier to people. I mean, this is not the type of incident that you can blame the police for, right? No. These are your interpersonal issues, your family, your loved ones, whatever it is. The police can only deal with this on the tail end of it, after it's happened. Exactly. What are we doing to prevent these conflicts? Letting people know that, hey, yeah, she hurt you, but okay, move on. It's hard. Yes, we know. He really betrayed your trust, but you don't need to come there and confront him or the other girl or other guy or whatever it is, right? Move on. Okay, that's what you want. You don't want me. It's over. It's fine. Have a nice life. Yes, there are children involved. Okay, so we'll draw up some papers. We'll have lawyers or a mediator, somebody who can work out visitation and how this is going to work going forward. But I'm not going to talk to you directly because every time we talk, we get heated, and it's a problem.
That makes sense. But a lot of things don't make sense.
And it's easier said than done. Absolutely, I know that. But too many people want, like you said, they love this adrenaline rush that an argument and pushing somebody and
because this is
hitting them
how,
in the
in
head
most cases,
feels.
they've been brought up. So it really does go back to the home, and it's a cycle of abuse, really. Because if you have been brought up in a particular circumstance, and to you that is normal. So if you've been exposed to this, your parents have been exposed to this, and your grandparents have been exposed to this, this is what you know as normal. Trying to rewire the way that we think and how we react to certain situations and circumstances can be very difficult, and it requires a dedicated investment on our own personal end to try and address it and resolve it. And then sometimes, Dwight, and we've seen that with quite a few of these incidents over the past few weeks, months, even if not years, where you'll have somebody who's trying to employ conflict resolution, who's trying to approach the situation with some sort of calm logic or whatnot like that, who would try to walk away, and it still doesn't go well for them.
Right. Yeah.
Because it takes the two parties or the three parties or ever how many parties to have that mentality, that sense of peace to try and say, hey, if this situation isn't working for me, let me just step away. Okay, things can go badly. Let's just step away. If we're having an argument, maybe let's take a break and get somebody else involved maybe so that they can help us understand each other better, especially when there are others involved. And again, going back to that cycle. If the children are seeing this from their parents or their families or whatever like that, they see this as normal, right? And then they take that into the schoolroom at the different schools or whatnot like that. And you see it in the classroom, you see it on the outside on the recreational grounds or whatever like that. And so they take it throughout life. And so this is why you would see 40-something-year-olds conducting themselves in a particular way, because this is what they know to be normal. And it doesn't help that they're actually also seeing this perpetrated and even reinforced on social media, in the media, on the news, on the movies, the television series, on TikTok. And then you have persons who film these things just trying to get famous on social media or whatnot, because we cultivate controversy. Yeah. We adore poor behavior.
But that's how you get on a reality show. The more wacky you can act and throw something across the room at somebody, it gets you stardom.
Have you seen like Bahamian TikTok and Bahamian Twitter or whatnot like that? If you follow these things, it's like some of the stuff that's being said. I'm like, do you all actually do this in real life? Like in real life, honestly, because you can have a persona online, but in real life, is this how you're operating? And yes. For some of them, they are doing that. And it's almost like how, like I've always tried to be a type of person to attempt to understand others, right? It's like, why would you do that? Or what is the reason behind why you think you need to do that? And the violence is just, see, that's the be all end all in some cases, right? Because it's almost like you're cooking. And that pot continues to bubble and bubble and bubble until it ultimately boils over.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of text messages. We'll get to those in a bit, but you can continue to call in. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning again, Dwight. The reason why I call back, I think you all, missed something. People hardly could eat in this little Nassau that I know of. Where they going to get money to get lawyers? You're missing it big time. Y'all need to get on the ground to see what's happening in our country. Thank you.
I also just thank you so much for that. I want to clarify when I think Dwight does have the same. When we speak about mediator, we ain't talking about lawyers. We ain't talking about lawyers. I ain't talking about lawyers, because a lot of people can't afford lawyers. A lot of people can't afford a lot of things. A lot of people can't afford to have electricity. Can't afford to have water, can't afford to have food, or whatnot. And that's a lot. That's another reason where a lot of the anger comes from. And I think we
But
mentioned
they
that
can afford
earlier.
to have a gun, though. So let's not go there. We know there are people who are struggling, but there are a whole lot of people not. You heard that text earlier about how you're killing the girl because you bought her all these things and she doesn't want you anymore. So there's a lot of everything happening here, and so we have to recognize that as well. But yeah, like that's a very significant point. You can afford to have a gun. So what's that about? So come on. Anyway,
And socioeconomics is psychological. It's a lot of things going on there.
let's read these messages. This person says here, Dwight, the police do not resolve situations, then people take matters. If the police do not resolve situations, then police take matters into their own hands. If they approach crime the way they do CARICOM, what? We would have zero crime. What does that mean? We need to focus on the Bahamas. We are in some deep trouble right now and under attack by many different foreign countries that take advantage and laugh at us. This is a very confusing text. Bahamians are angry about it because the government does nothing except taxes to death, and people are angry. We need to stand before we get the judgment order. What does any of that mean? Okay. But they go on to say, caller, don't worry. That murderer will be out in a couple of months after he pleads insanity, and then I guess he'll kill. Okay, what's going on? It's getting crazier each line. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. Anyway, let's see another text here. Can you find out how are the resident whites, Chinese, and Filipinos handling their conflicts? Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Well, you don't hear about them on the news. So, I mean, unless you think there's a secret underground society and their stuff isn't being covered, unless that's what you think, which, okay. Oh, boy.
I ain't touching over a 10-foot pole.
Well, in their countries, there are definitely murders, right? But I don't know what your point is. I don't know if that's helpful to go down that road. Anyway, Dwight, it may be. Oh no, this is about the app. Okay, they're saying maybe it's Apple devices that are not having the issues, or is it Apple devices that? Okay. Nobody buys land for a health facility, then discovers contamination. You enter an agreement in principle, you do the checks, and if everything checks out, you purchase. Purchase is not a purchase thing. No, it's most of it is Crown land. Most of it. Anyway, the thing they did just appears like they wanted to help. So, okay, no. The facility's being paid for by the loan, but most of it is most of it. There's some portions that aren't, but most of it is Crown land. There is land top of the hill by Waterworks in back of Red Cross, acres of land. Also, the joint, Harold Road, JFK, the joint, I think they mean where they meet, big portion of land, put the new hospital there. That would be horrible.
Yo.
What? No, and that's the Waterworks property, I believe that is. But that would be a terrible place for a hospital. Are you serious? What? Because someone would not benefit from the sale of the land, I guess that'll never go off. And why do we need to waste money on a new House of Assembly? Well, that part. Yeah. I'm not going to hear the response, but just a heads up that the app and site are offline. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Maybe the internet. Okay. I'm just waiting to hear the crisis. Yes, we already read that one.
Oh, here we go. This is.
You really expect men to move on after they've invested thousands into a woman? And most times women don't want to give things back.
Sometimes I want to be petty, but I'm going to be I'm not.
Why can't you be petty? I wish you could try to be.
No.
So what are you saying, Texter? What should happen? What should he do if you've invested thousands? I don't know what you think, this is a project or something. You've invested thousands into her, and she doesn't want to give things back. So what
things should she be
you
giving back, or
do?
what do you want?
What are you saying he has the right to do, Texter?
What is the ROI? And does it work both ways?
And should you feel this way about your children too? Should you just this is a waste of time? I'm taking
Now
you
that
out.
I would
I'm
actually be
unplugging
interested.
you.
Please text back.
What are you
do that-
doing?
Do you expect that also from the children? You also realize that the texter never addresses me directly. It's always Dwight and about Deandra.
You sure you want that?
No, I don't. But it's also like you're coming across as misogynist and sexist. Texter.
You and this woman on the radio, please stop talking political correctness. Y'all always trying to sound pretty with big words on the radio.
Oh goodness, that's a big word for Elmo.
It's Monday. We got 4 whole days of this.
You have.
Well, you have 4. Oh, Lord have mercy. Dwight and Ms. Cartwright, bad behavior gets glorified and compensated. For example, all these praised drug dealers or Bahamian girls on that Baddies show, and we wonder why we are having issues. We love trauma, and what the old people would say, if you love it, let it kill you, and well, we're dying.
I mean, that's what we were saying.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Some of us do, not all, but clearly a lot do.
Good much.
Yeah. This administration did one thing right with the Afro Conference. We need to open up avenues for Bahamians and Africans to merge and create profits. Win-win for both sides, plus help build surrounding Caribbean countries. Finally, one thing right. Okay. This one says here, seeing that we will be sharing the same healthcare facility and healthcare professionals at all of these facilities, why not bulldoze the education building and most of these ancillary buildings right next to that current PMH so that we can construct the much-needed new facilities?
You mean the private building?
No, they mean they say build what you need right there. But
And
that doesn't solve the fact that you do not need everything concentrated in that one area, right? And I think that's been a part of the problem as well. Everything on Shirley Street, Doctor's Hospital, PMH right there. You're just going to create another. They don't even have parking. They don't even have parking at PMH. But so you're creating a new problem when you have places you could have satellite hospitals elsewhere to alleviate the traffic burden and having to wait for an ambulance to come from that area to, that's a lot. That's a lot.
No, but theoretically, I think that's what the PHA was trying to do
And
with the
former
clinics
administration
and
was
things
trying
like
to do
that,
that too,
right?
yes.
Where some of the
with
clinics,
yes.
would actually be focused on certain populations, certain issues or whatnot like that to try and decentralize what was going on at the hospital. It's just that I think, for quite some time, for many generations, it's been where if you are not feeling ill, you go straight to PMH. You go straight to PMH. And I think it also goes back to marketing and how do we get the information out there on what's available at the different clinics, or if you feel this type of way, if you have this particular issue, if you're this type of person, meaning like child, adult, man or woman or whatnot, they have different clinics at different locations at different times, et cetera, right? So you'd want to know this information, but it's also, I think, an ongoing challenge. And shout outs to all of my friends in healthcare and those who are not my friends, but all of y'all out there, because y'all are superheroes trying to do so much with so very little. Because there's also the challenge of not having enough resources all over in these different locations, even at PMH itself. And so you have a lot of frustration that's going on when trying to access healthcare on the whole.
Yeah. We've got a lot of calls. Let's take these. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight and Ms. Cartwright.
Hi.
Morning.
I feel like when these things happen, the police and the system need to continue to make examples when things happen. I know they don't be there before it happened. Would have been better if they could have stopped it. But when it happened, keep making example and enforce the law.
The police or the courts?
Huh?
The police or the courts?
Well, I say the system, the police and the courts and everything work together, and just to be encouraged to enforce the law and make example, like how they being make an example. Because he ain't gonna be able to stop crime or being these people head when people does these things. I feel like it's all about this. See, I say let go and let God. That's the all of us, right? I feel like in these situations, like relationships, and even without the relationship, when somebody just go and get somebody back or whatever, what we call vigilante justice, I feel like it's all about disrespect. And it would have been an easy way when we row, we remember, although we mad right then, that our life, our children, our family, depending on us or whatever, or the person life, you do something to them, you have to spend time in jail. I feel like when they breaking off from each other with relationships, if they could do it a little more respectful. It doesn't give somebody rights to kill somebody because of disrespect, but as a human being, I believe that's a lot to consider. Dwight, I don't know if it's old news or new news, a video was run where they claimed that the reporter was saying it's a Bahamian young man by the name of Ferguson, and saying he was being arrested by the police officers in the United States, and he tried to disarm them or something, and they shoot him or kill him. You hear anything about it, Anthony Ferguson?
I haven't. No.
What? You saw it?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, that might have been old news, but I ain't hear nothing on the news here on none of the radio stations. So I say that might have been fake news. I just was wondering if it's true. A Bahamian was being arrested and trying to disarm officers, and they shoot him or kill him. Keep up the good work, Dwight.
Thanks a lot. All right. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air. Are we on hold? Yeah. Okay. Let's take the other. Let's take the other call. Maybe. Good morning. You're on the air. All right. Call us back. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? Yeah, okay.
How are you, sir?
Hi, good morning.
I'm okay. Miss Cartwright, how are you, ma'am?
As good as can be. How are you?
Okay. I've been listening to you, and I want to let you know, Miss Cartwright, you're a sailing fan, and I am also one. You've been having your way with the Running Tide and the Legend, Mark Knowles, Stephen Knowles. They're my friends, also my client, because the world-famous tideway was not there. So we're gonna fix that.
You gotta fix that.
Having said that, my friend Dwight.
Hi.
You've been running from the issue. I've been criticized, and this country have yet to believe that the family structure is in trouble. And this is as a result of we have lost our spiritual values, and there's a force that is trying to liberalize it and want to tell God that he made a big mistake. We are in the red. Until we go back to those traditional values, this country and the whole world will be in chaos. Let me just say this. Any man that is not biblically not connected, he can't understand anything that one is saying pertaining to civilization or being civil. He must be connected. The home is being effeminized. We want to make it right. And God said, no, it can't work that way. Until we understand this force, we will always be in the red. And my message will not change. Have a wonderful day.
Don't go yet. Tell us some more. What does that mean? The home is being effeminized.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean that a boy or a man have to be mentored? He have to come from a structure where he was mentored. I'll use this analogy often. I have 5 beautiful grands. I often talk about them. I have problem accepting anything below 3 point because they need 3 point and above to survive in this world today. So spiritually, when a man or a woman, but especially a man, is not mentored biblically and he is not connected, he don't understand anything else. The liberalized force do not want that. This is why the home are in chaos because of the home has been effeminized from the Garden of Eden that it began. That's what that means, right?
Mm-hmm. Who's stopping this from happening?
Excuse me?
Who's stopping this from happening? From men to mentoring, from men mentoring their children or others around them? What's stopping that?
Dwight, I was mentored by my father.
Mm-hmm.
I played games with my mother. She is 90 years old. But my mother always reminded me, when your father come, if you don't take the instruction that DeAndre know about that, she is from Long Island. Most of her family are my friends. We have these discussions. Coach Keith Carroll is listening to me. Stephen knows. Mark knows. They are listening. They are a product of the mentoring of their father, Lauren knows. I'm saying to you is this. My mother often said, if you don't follow the instructions that was given to her by my father, when he comes home, she has to report. DeAndre knows about that. That is where the home has been effeminized.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but who's stopping the men from doing this?
You still ain't get me, Dwight. Spiritually, listen again, Dwight. Spiritually, a man cannot do when he was never being mentored. Anything. Listen, let me use this analogy again. You're not from the island. DeAndre knows about this. When you plant your peas, and if you don't weed it wrong and clear it wrong for the peas tree to breed, guess what? The wild weed will kill the peas. So what happened is this. People go and have fun, and the children end up growing like wild weed. Mm-hmm. That's because of the home.
Yes. Why is that happening?
Why is that happening? Because of the erosion of the family, Dwight. The enemy do not want the traditional family to function. The world is being liberalized. And the children are confused. After two adults finish having fun, then they go and grin and laugh and look at the material possession while the children grow like wild weed.
Yeah, and how do we stop this from happening?
We got to go back to the structure.
Okay.
DeAndre knows well about it. She often talk about Long Island. I know the heritage. I am from Exuma, right next door. She knows. She knows. Don't pretend that she don't know. She knows. The liberalization and the home, we will.
See,
if we until the world go back to the original
I know that you know what I'm
designed
trying to
by
get
God,
at. I
we will
know
stay
that
in the
you
red.
know why aren't the men in this country seeing themselves as being mentors to do this for their sons? That's what I'm asking you.
You're still not understanding.
No,
me.
I don't
My
think you're
brother,
understanding
Dwight, listen
me.
Again.
You're saying,
is it a force? Do what he was never when he was never mentored. Analogy again. One cannot get good
Why
grades.
wasn't that man mentored?
One cannot get good grades if he did not study. Dwight went off to university. His parents expect excellence from his studies.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing except for one part, right? The responsibility of the men to get it. They have a role to play. There are lots of men who do get it, but there's some that don't. That's what I'm saying. What is the issue there? Are you saying the women are not interested in them having a role with their children? Is that what you're saying? Or they just don't care?
Listen to me. One don't have to be mentored to have fun, you know. I was young too. I had a lot of fun. But I always knew that the consequences behind the fun when I have it. Children out of wedlock. I was afraid of shotgun wedding. I was afraid of that. I am 70 years old now. And that was reminded me as a child. You get somebody else, you get one daughter pregnant, that man coming at you with his gun. I was afraid of that.
We're saying the same thing. The family has eroded. Thank you very much. But to blame it on the effeminizing or effeminization is unfair. Values across the board have eroded. And what was acceptable or not acceptable 150 years ago is just common today, and we are reaping what we're sowing. Absolutely, we agree. But you want to put it on the more opportunities for women, it sounds like. and women.
The women are just trying to do what
that's
they
not
can
fair.
with what they have.
Nobody's stopping these men from being mentors to their children.
Or being present in their children's
Not
lives.
at all. There might be one or two crazy women out there who, but you should have known that, as you said, maybe instead of looking for the fun, you should have known what that person was into, and you might not have been in that situation. And yeah, she might not want you to have anything to do with her kids, and that's really horrible. But to say it's
solely based on that, it can't be.
That it isn't.
And then also
that's
we
the
look
problem.
at, I think, what is it, the demonization of liberalism. Being liberal means to be liberated, to be freed. With that, and again, I think that word within itself, evokes different types of emotions for different persons. But if you look at that, we've had so many more persons that have been exposed to educational opportunities because we become more liberal as a society, right? So I think when we look at that as a negative impact on the societal structure, the family structure, we need to take a step back, unpack that a bit, and perhaps, realize that there are so many other factors that are at play when we look at the breakdown of the home.
Yeah.
And it's not solely based on women leading the home or persons being more liberal in their thinking. It's just simply not that.
Yeah. And we've had a matriarchal society here for a very long time, right? This is going back hundreds of years. So it's not quite what you're saying. It's very convenient to blame this on, because it's coincided with the same time, right? More women going into the workforce. And so, although that doesn't really apply here because women were always working around here. We're not paying attention to the fact that plenty of people, like you said, just want to have fun and then dip out. And that's a problem. One more call and we got to take a break. We're behind. Good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning, caller. You are on the air. Are you there? Yes? Hi, good morning. You're on the air. No. Okay, let's go to the break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll pick this up on the other side, and there's still, even though he's not going to be with us, still some economic matters I want to get into.
Yeah.
On the cost of living in this country. We'll get into that in business.
That is going up.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's all straight ahead. Stay with us, folks.
From right, and I show you what I can, and say it for me, say it to me, and I'll leave this life behind me.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Region Forest cat. Apparently they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Now let me see now. 326 ETIC. Hello? This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
RBC. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure. RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Happy Independence Bahamas! Let's celebrate 50 plus 1 together with a unique Janae's Uniform Center Independence print, dry-fit polo or t-shirts, ribbons and pole bows in black, gold, and aquamarine. Janae's special family package includes buy 2 adults and 3 children Independence polos or t-shirts and get 15% off. Outfit your staff for a special Independence dress of week or day with a different design. For more than 30 pieces of Janae's Independence polos or t-shirts, get up to 25% discount. Janae's Uniform Center Chesapeake Road Independence Selections. Choose your favorite and celebrate 50 plus 1. Restrictions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, June 17th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright. If you've been listening, you knew we were expecting to have Senator Michael Halkitis, the Minister of Economic Affairs and Development, with us, but he has to reschedule as he's been called into a meeting with the Prime Minister. So a little bit later, we'll talk about some issues affecting the cost of living and some of the things we wanted to raise with the Minister and want to get your views on it as well. But we continue to talk about what we've been talking about all morning, 2 issues, but mainly about the domestic situations we have had over the past few days that have led to 3 people dead in a period of 3 days. And all relationship issues, interpersonal. So we got brothers involved in one, and baby mama, baby daddy drama. It seems in another one. Yeah. Is it allegedly? Yeah, sure. And then another situation might be a romantic rival situation. It seems so. Just really, really, really concerning. And I want to talk about that and why we continue to have these issues. And this happens all over the world. But Deandra and I were talking about this off here. It just seems to be the frequency here, maybe because we are so small and everybody knows everybody. It just is in your face. But every day on the news in other parts of the world, you'll hear about things like this. But it just seems so frequent here. And again, because of the size, it really impacts us a whole lot more, which is why we do spend so much time talking about it. But we cannot ignore that our people have issues when it comes to conflict resolution. And a lot of things are blown out of proportion unnecessarily, clearly. And it's easy to say that on the outside looking in, I'm sure. But I'm sure even those in the situation say this really didn't have to come to this. Not at all. So we want to get your reaction to that. Give us a call, 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. And again, standard text rates apply. All right. So lots of people sent me the video that a previous caller talked about. So this is a Bahamian in the States. This is what that issue was about. Bahamian living in the States. And that's happening a lot too often as well. Bahamians going over there and getting themselves into some serious situations. But oh boy. Okay. Let's take these calls and we'll get to your text messages. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Turn on your radio for us, please. Hi, turn on your radio. And talk to us. You're on the air. Oh boy. Okay. Let's go to the next call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Hi, good morning. Okay. Yeah, hi, good morning. You're on the air. What's going on? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. This person says here, oh boy. Dwight and Deandra, what's the consequence of thousands of illegals coming here from a very violent country with an extremely high murder rate that has 1 billion people? What? What's happening? Which country is this?
I really want to know.
Which one is that? Do you think that's the reason for all the increase in murders and violence? Cuba and China's murder rate is not high, only one country, and we are being overrun by them and their offspring. What's happening? I'm very confused by this text. Okay. Very confused. But those two countries are communist countries with authoritarian rules. So, I mean, if you want to bring them up.
You remember we're using too many big words, so we have to.
Well, okay. But if you want... Anyway, the caller is onto something. The normal family structure is being completely diminished by people who want to do what they want instead of what God wants. By the way, happy Father's Day to all the wonderful fathers that take care of their kids properly, not doing the minimal. And to all the others, I hope you get exactly what you deserve according to your actions as a father.
Yo, that sounds like a threat.
Oh, dear.
Wow.
And happy Father's Day to you, too. Okay. Wow. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Is that a polite threat? That sounds like a meme I saw over the weekend. Like, it makes me giggle when I see it because it's literally like that same type of tone. It's like when we say enjoy your day, people receive that with such gladness. But if we say enjoy your next 24 hours, it sounds so much more.
That's very scary. I wouldn't want anyone to say that to me.
Wait, the people have some serious energy today. It's only Monday, guys. It is only we have 4 more days of the work week. We are literally in the second, the second last week of the 6th month. We have 6 more months in this year.
Is it the second to last?
I feel like
you're right. Oh, this month is flying by. Wow. Wow. Okay. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Hi. Good morning.
Morning. Hello. How you doing?
Doing well.
I just want to chime in on the conversation and topic this morning.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I mean, you have a valid point. You mentioned earlier about domestic and fellas spending thousands on women and so forth. And I don't condone no one doing violence or even harming another one's life. But in some aspects, like the gentleman mentioned earlier, you do have to go back at the parenting and where things came from at home. Some people used to a certain type of living, and some people just have never experienced a certain type of living. Some people can't afford, like the lady said, this card, right? Food, water, these things, and it creates a stereotype. And a lot of people really just need help and scared to say it, and misuse people and mislead people in so many directions. It may cause conflict of interest or wherever may be the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the gentleman was trying to get into with the mentorship and getting out and speaking to young men and showing them certain things about life that don't really have to be involved in too much interaction with a female that could mislead you, And it's very unfortunate that those incidents happened over the weekend for the past 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's been going on like this. This been a trend now.
Long time.
It's been a trend for like 2 years. I've been seeing this. And I'm glad y'all made a statement of it. It's been a trend for 2 years now. Young men killing girls and just randomly more women being killed than men now. Just the same ratio. It's sad. And I hope this message get across to anyone who might be listening. I too am speaking from experience. That's why I find it the nerve to call this morning and give someone some insight that is better on the other side, But I always find more, I just got to be strong and trust God. Him alone can bring you through. Him alone.
Indeed.
Wherever young man or woman listening to this right now, just hold firm, you can make it through.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for accepting.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. Really appreciate that. I feel it came from your heart. Thank you very much. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was much needed.
Yeah,
I like that.
Definitely.
Thank you, caller.
Appreciate that. Let's take another call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Cartwright.
Hi, good morning.
Strachan, just touch. I told Mr. Al-Capes couldn't make it. I know if he could have, he would have. So give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
Just touch quickly on something you mentioned, and I heard in a news story when they was talking about the water being contaminated by the new site of the hospital or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If they know it's contaminated, they couldn't test the substance to see what it was, if it was from the cesspit or if it was.
That's what they said.
From some, I didn't hear you.
That's what they said. They said they believe it's from the cesspit,
Or some mining
the septic
place.
tanks. There's a couple of things. Septic systems that may be leaking, the mining that was going on near the southern end of the property, past squatters, and
I don't know about the squatters, but but what I'm saying, Mr. Strachan, is that if they had tested it, you're trying to tell me they couldn't differentiate if it was from mining or it's from the septic tank? That's what I'm trying to say. They couldn't pinpoint and say exactly what it was if they tested it?
all of the above, probably.
Yeah, okay, but Ms. Cartwright made a very important point, Mr. Strachan. She said something about we need to look deeper at the situation that we're faced with, right? And there's a lady, her name is Dr. Joyce something. She has this thing from post-traumatic stress maybe or something, but we need to really look at that and really consider what it is that we are coming from. Because as a society, Dwight, we have never had that ideal family. We are coming from a system where we don't know what that is.
Yeah.
The individuals who might know what that is are the individuals who might have been house slaves, who might have been a witness and observed how a family operates. That kind of way. But as black people coming up, we have never had that. You know what I mean? My father, if you trace my father back in the day, you know what I mean? Like, who taught them? That kind of way. So we are trying to create, or we are in the process of developing that. But I think as Jeff was talking about, society is not encouraging that. The kind of way. What we see around us is not leading us, like you're saying, why we can't go east? Why we can't go east? It's because society is trying to point us to go west. You understand? And I think that's the point Jeff was trying to show you. And see, the thing about it is that not a society of critically thinking individuals. So you cannot expect us to act in the most decent way when it comes to situations that affect our emotion, because we are not emotionally intelligent. That kind of way. So we have to face reality, like Ms. Carter was saying. We have to look at it from a deeper perspective. But just to say this to you too, Dwight. We talk about this Christian society, etc. We do Christian this, Christian that, but we don't live under Christian laws. The kind of way. The Ten Commandments prove this. Out of the Ten Commandments, only 2 or 3 commandments. If you break them, it will really be a criminal offense, stealing and murdering. You're free to do the rest. You see, so in some ways, they have moral police. The kind of way. People like this, you cannot legislate morality, but we do that already. We do legislate morality. You can't just go and kill someone. It's a crime, right? So why can't we legislate some other things that we see causes serious social ills in our society, even leading to some people losing their lives or taking the lives of someone else? You know, the kind of way people commit suicide over the gossip, that people slander their names that they can't deal with. Why we don't make it a crime so that person could get justice? People, why we don't make deception a crime? Why we don't make adultery a crime? Why don't we make it so if you are found guilty of adultery, you can't hold no more positions of trust in society? Why we don't start penalizing these things?
Because
You know,
everybody will be out of a
need-
job.
I didn't hear
Caller.
you.
Because so many persons will be out of a job.
Yeah,
Sweetheart is our third industry.
Third.
Well, I mean, we cannot worry about people's livelihood, but we're talking about what's good for the entire society. You understand? You know what I mean? We got to make those difficult decisions, and whoever stands against like these kind of positive changes, then they have bad mind. I come from, because these are the things that we all should be pulling for as human beings, that we all achieve a level of appreciation of each other's feelings and the consequences of our actions. We all need to reach that point. You know what I mean? So like I said before, why don't we create in our society then measures that corrects the problems that we face? Like I say, in some societies, they have morality police. You know that kind of way? So like I say before, let us let us criminalize some of the things that people feel free to do.
Yeah. But see, here's the
all
thing.
time.
And I appreciate your points. I appreciate them all. But, this is the thing. I mean, we have these situations that we need to get a handle on, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we need to be going in the extreme direction.
Well, Dwight,
right?
like I said, we have to check it in some kind of way.
And we definitely
y'all
do.
have a nice day, Dwight.
You
Good
too.
show, and I
really appreciate the
discussion.
call.
Like I said, Ms. Cartwright is onto something when she says that we need to take a deeper look into the problems that we face.
Thank you again. Appreciate it. Yeah.
If I may.
Before you do, I mean,
Okay.
it's scary with morality police.
No,
We
that
see
part right there.
places
Did you see
like
my eyes? I kind of widened.
India and some other places where
No,
they've had
Iran.
oh my gosh, that's
You literally
the
are
real
disappeared.
extreme there, right?
You were
It can
disappeared
get
by the
really
morality
insane.
police.
So you need to be very, very careful with that. But we don't have to get there.
But then that's also a cultural difference inside those societies and whatnot. There's not just a religious difference, but culturally speaking, and what is accepted and what is not. Like those societies, sweetheart, that's a criminal offense. You can have more than one wife if that's what you decide or whatnot. But again, that's legal. So we have to look at the differences. But that morality, please, I think, for me, other things like
What
that.
do they love to do? There's death by stoning.
Well, the thing is that you don't even have a right to fair trial in some cases, and
If you're
it's
caught,
even
that's- yeah.
elevated beyond stoning in some cases when you were literally taken away and never heard from again. And God knows what happens to you.
Probably stoned, but among other horrible things. Good morning, caller. You're on there.
Morning, Dwight, and good morning, Ms. Cartwright.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Dwight, Ms. Cartwright. Look like they are still full speed ahead with this new hospital. And I still believe, Dwight, if you cannot fully furnish with staff with the ones you have, I still think, it's basically fool's gold to build a new one. Let me give an example. I dropped someone to the clinic last week in Fleming Street. They wanted to see the dentist. They said the dentist only see 10 patients per day, and you have to come 3 o'clock in the morning and say to pull a ticket in order to get served. Which means, that they're short staff. I believe that you should expand all of these clinics and try to fully staff them, renovate and expand them and try to make them a 24-hour hospital, and then let's go from there. But to put $290 million into the new hospital, which you guys fully funded with mostly foreigners, I think it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I hear you.
Thank you
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good day.
One more call before we get back to your messages. Good morning, caller. Are you there? Hi, are you there? No. Okay. Messages here. This person says here, let's get straight to the point. People are stressed because the cost of living is too high, and it's causing extreme mental breakdowns. People are jumping off bridges. Brothers and sisters are killing each other. Robberies, rapes are higher. Missing kids, traffic fatalities every day. But thank God the government is lessening the burden on us by taking care of illegals instead of Bahamians. Oh, my dear God. Where are they doing that? What do you mean by that? Maybe you shouldn't answer, but okay. This person says here, we need to construct multi-level parking. Why can't we have the vision to do this? Not just the point at the old, not just the point and the old town center mall. We can't spread the facilities all. What? We can't spread the facilities all over the island if we have shared staffing at all the facilities. All right. Another text here. These are two easily addressable areas that can bring some sort of order. The first is traffic control, make people understand that good behavior is expected and bad behavior is punished. Second, the misery index is high. Address the easiest misery causing them, i.e. noise. Introduce a noise control act. People should have peace before and after normal working hours. Should not be subjected to construction noise on holidays and weekends. And should not be subjected to noise over a certain or given decibel level. Should not be subjected to raucous parties after cutoff hours. Loud music should not be allowed at places of peace. Address these two achievable, reasonable, low-hanging fruit. I hear you. We do need to do something about the noise. I agree with you on that one. That is getting everybody a little riled up and worked up and aggressive, more aggressive than necessary. And then people really have no decency about it when it comes to that. Have you been in a drive-through and the person behind you has the biggest bass speakers in the world and you're trapped because the cars are waiting and you're there feeling every bone in your body rattle? This person has no consideration, just the most selfish, evil thing, and that's very common around here.
Yes.
And so if you can do that, I think you're only one step from throwing a brick in someone's head. But
unless resist doing that.
Yeah, and so you're right. You're onto something. I mean, I don't think it's the only thing we need to do, but I don't think that's what you're suggesting either. But something has to be done. They go on to say what we need to do is to stop the nonsense that sweethearting is the right of the Bahamian male and start talking about how destructive it is and calling out the women who engage in it for profit. We've gone too far down this road, and that any money is good money.
Well, that's actually something that's, some of us discuss in more academic circles from time to time, how our society is okay with sweethearting, but then we look down on prostitution, when in some cases it's literally the same thing. But we look at it differently somehow. You sleep with somebody for a couple $100s or whatnot because that's your man, he taking care of you. But if somebody else does that, provides that same service, and is paid, they are somehow lesser than? Interesting. But we don't see ourselves
the regularity of it.
This was a subject, I think, a couple of years ago. We were trying to, this is when there was, more pressure on trying to legalize the right to prostitution. Because, according to biblical scholars, it's one of the, if not the longest form of work that's been documented, from the beginning of time.
Oh, boy. This person says here, I would suggest men take the things back if they invest in a woman. The issue is when they don't want to return the money and the valuable gifts that men work hard for. Don't you think so, Dwight? I don't think the caller was understanding what you were asking, though. Yes, men are not in the home, and it's partly because women keep men out of the home via the courts. But to be honest, since there are women... I think they try to say more women than men. I think men should have more than one wife, and that should be the law. See, now I don't know.
Can you maintain
serious here?
More than one wife?
I don't know if it's being serious.
Can you maintain more than one wife? I think, what was it? If you can, I saw this video couple months ago, and it was obviously a different culture that allows multiple wives, but they were more liberal with it. And so the wife asks, when the husband was like, what would you think if I got a second wife? And she says, you can have a second wife. You sign over everything to me so that I have the security to know that I have a house no matter what happens, that I have income and investments no matter what happens, and you can get a second wife. And within 5 minutes, that man was like, no, I don't. I don't want that. Because he knew that he cannot financially take care of two wives, because two wives becomes how many different sets of children and how many children from those unions. But see, this goes back to where we keep on talking about the role of the man and the man being absent. You have a lot of men who are not taking care of their responsibilities. That's the God honest truth.
This texter says, I have 2 boys. Their mother comes from a dysfunctional home. She uses the children to spite me, and it seems as if she doesn't want me to have a part in their upbringing, and it is taking a toll on the children mentally. I'm afraid to fight for them because the system always seems to side with the woman. So sad.
Unfortunately, that is true. Our system tends to side more with the mother, but if you say that she's coming from a dysfunctional background, and of course every situation is unique, how much is that impacting to gets to the point of documentation where you can have others speak on behalf of you? But then also, what could you do within the boundaries that have been set for you? And sometimes going to court is the better thing, because you have a lot of men who are trying to do the right thing. They will, instead of going to the courts or whatnot, they are paying for the grocery, they are paying the rent and everything like that, and it's seeming like the woman always wants more, without actually accepting what's been given already.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes back to what you were saying earlier about greed.
Yeah. Let's take this call, then we'll go to the break. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to you, Pierre.
Hi, good morning.
That's a saying that the courts tend to side with women more, but I don't see it that way, because they listen to each side.
Yes.
Once he have evidence, because I know personally of a young man that the court gave full custody of a little girl to, and we know they don't tend to give girls to men. Because while he documented the way the mother was carrying on, and he had nobody to testify for him, he documented everything using the same cell phone, using the same thing that we use daily.
Yeah.
He just videotape what he can videotape, and then he writes down whatever he could write down in the phone, in the notes, and he took that to court. And this is a government employee. Let me go better. It's a police officer woman who got her daughter taken away from her and given to a gentleman because of her behavior.
Yeah,
So
no,
if
definitely.
you
I'm
go
sure
to
they
the
look at the
court-
situations.
Pardon?
I'm sure they will look at it on a case-by-case basis. Yeah, this is not
exactly
a hard and fast
so
rule.
don't just sit back and say the court will side with the woman. Whatever, even if you just go there and put yourself in court, but some men don't like to pay child support because he knows he go to court, that's the first thing come out. But if he go there and get that, he will also get visitation of his kids. The court will see to it that she either picked them up or she dropped them off to him at a certain time. But some men don't want to pay child support. That's why they don't want to go to court.
Yeah.
And they don't realize you're paying more when you don't pay child support. You pay child support is less than what you would pay out of pocket, or how the woman will come after you. Because once a court gives you a certain amount to pay, you can do better if you choose. But she can't come after you for more. So you help yourself when you go to court. So go to court. Man, stop being afraid. Go to court and allow the court to say what the court say, and then you could say otherwise. But don't judge. Go and see for yourself.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah. All right. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little more about this and some other things, as we said, some cost of living things. That's coming up quite a bit, as well as to some of the reasons why we're having some of these challenges. I don't know, but it's definitely not easy. It's not easy living here. And we're seeing, and some are saying, that even the new budget is going to make life a little bit harder with new fees and taxes on top of things we're already paying. We're going to get into that when we get back. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You all ready for that? Here we go. Say she promised she gonna marry me. Oh, yeah. But she run away. She promised she'd be faithful to me. Oh, yeah. But she scheme on me. Say she take all my money. Oh, yeah. She take my car. Oh, yeah. My virginity. Oh, yeah. Is with her now. Oh, yeah. Now going crazy. Oh, yeah. Can't even sleep. Oh, yeah. Can't even eat. Oh, yeah. I don't want to drink. Oh, yeah. I should've listened to mommy. Oh, yeah. I should've listened to papi. Oh, yeah. Man, this gal.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center, your friendly and affordable vendor one-stop shop, where you can get all of your groceries, kids' lunch snacks, and vendor snacks items at the best prices in town. Don't believe us? Find us on Market Street in the red, white, and black building south of Chesapeake Road. We don't stock anything, we just buy deals, so you better get there first. Call us today at 698-0123 or WhatsApp 557-2522 or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Remember, always make us your first stop.
We all know that our country's electricity infrastructure is decades old. It is breaking down, it is too expensive, and it cannot transmit clean energy. Small changes aren't enough. We are taking it all on. Upgrading and modernizing the grid, solar power, major energy reform. That's how we get to lower prices and more reliable electricity. It will not happen overnight, but it will be game-changing.
Go to newenergyera.gov.bs to learn more.
Are you tired of the hustle and bustle of city life, yearning for a relaxing getaway without the headaches of international travel? Well, we've got just the thing for you. Escape to paradise without leaving home with our limited time 2-fly free offer for Bahamas residents. Whether you're craving adventure, seeking to reconnect with your roots, or simply yearning to unwind in secluded shores, the Family Islands has something for everyone. But you better act fast, because this incredible 2-fly free offer is only available until June 30th. Don't let this opportunity slip away. So why wait? Book your trip today. Escape the ordinary, discover the extraordinary, and experience the magic of the Family Islands. Visit BahamasResidence.com for more information and start planning your ultimate island getaway today.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined home payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. Prime Minister Philip Davis using the African Export-Import Bank, the Afro-Exim Bank annual meeting last week to ask for the inclusion of the Multi-Dimensional Vulnerability Index, the MVI, to help assess small island developing states' vulnerability to economic and climate shocks. The MVI, a United Nations assessment framework, is a tool used to help SIDS assess their level of shock and relate that to their financing needs to help mitigate the shocks or rebound from them. When it comes to financing, debt relief, and aid, the use of unsuitable, outdated, simplistic, gross national income measurements unfairly lock out SIDS from assessing the help they need, and MVI has the potential to ensure truly inclusive, sustainable development. The MVI is also a vital tool to help small island nations gain access to concessional financing. Well, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper says deals were being done at the Afro-Exim Bank annual meetings that are going to benefit the Bahamas and the wider Caribbean. Cooper was also Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, telling reporters on the sidelines of the event that the forum, that deals were being done and that they signed the agreement on the Afro-Caribbean marketplace in Grand Bahama, and that it's going to be inspiring to see people who, quote, look like us doing real things and working actively between Africa and the Caribbean to make it happen. More on that deal with Grand Bahama. Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxley, said the $50 million Afro-Caribbean marketplace will be a retail center as well as a logistics hub for authentic Caribbean and African goods. Moxie told reporters after the signing of that facility to build the marketplace at the old International Bazaar and Royal Oasis site in Grand Bahama that all 55 African countries will be represented at the marketplace, as well as the 20 Caribbean countries with their own pavilions. Bahamas will have all 16 islands individually represented at the marketplace as well. More on that story in today's Guardian Business section. And Royal Caribbean International announcing that it has received its newest ship, the Utopia of the Seas, which the cruise line says will begin sailing an all Bahamas itineraries this summer, bringing some 15,000 passengers to Nassau per week. The cruise line's product innovation officer, Jay Schneider, said last year that RCI's short programs, which are typically all Bahamas cruises, have been extremely popular. The cruise line repeatedly touts the popularity of its private island destination, Perfect Day at Coco Key, saying it is consistently ranked as the top cruise stop by cruise guests. RCI said in a statement announcing receipt of the Utopia that the ship will debut on July 19th. Overseas, the U.S. Surgeon General has called on Congress to require warning labels on social media platforms similar to those now mandatory on cigarette boxes. In a Monday opinion piece in the New York Times, Dr. Vivek Murthy saying that social media is a contributing factor in the mental health crisis among young people. Murthy saying, quote, "It is time to require a Surgeon General's warning label on all social media platforms, stating that social media is associated with significant mental health harms for adolescents. A Surgeon General's warning label, which requires congressional action, would regularly remind parents and adolescents that social media has not been proved safe. Evidence from tobacco studies show that warning labels can increase awareness and change behavior." Murthy says that the use of just a warning label wouldn't make social media safe for young people, but that it would be part of the steps needed. Social media use is prevalent among young people, with up to 95% of youth ages 13 to 17 saying they use a social media platform, and more than one-third saying that they use social media almost constantly, according to 2022 data from the Pew Research Center. Last year, Murthy warned that there wasn't enough evidence to show that social media is safe for children and teens. He said at the time that policymakers needed to address the harms of social media the same way they regulate things like car seats, baby formula, medication, and other products that children use. And from the UK, since calling a general election for July 4th, British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has been at pains to repeat a key message on the campaign trail. The economy is turning a corner, and that inflation is down and things are looking up. But that's not the reality for many millions across the UK, still feeling the squeeze from high food, energy, and housing prices. The persistent cost of living crisis is a top concern for voters in the parliamentary election, when they'll choose lawmakers to fill all 650 seats in the House of Commons, and the leader of the party that can command a majority, either alone or in coalition, will become prime minister. While Sunak's Conservatives are widely expected to lose after 14 years in power, the dire state of the economy, combined with a deep disillusionment with politics and politicians among voters, means that the prevailing mood ahead of the election is one of malaise, not excitement or hope for change, even if the opposition Labour Party wins. Although inflation has returned to near normal levels after skyrocketing in recent years, energy bills and items on store shelves still cost more than they did before the pandemic, when they started their steep climb. And while wages are starting to rise, mortgages and rents have soared, along with interest rates, taking large chunks out of many household incomes. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday, your market movers, APD Limited moving 100 shares, closing at 41.50, down $3.14. Consolidated Water down 3 cents, closing at $5.01. Emir Incorporated down 8 cents, closing at $8.15. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,934.92, down 3.25. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And tune in to CFAL Talks tonight at 6:30 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Hi! Yeah! Time to skull it! Hey! You all ready for this? Here we go! Say she promised she gonna marry me. Oh, yeah! But she run away. She promised she'd be faithful to me. Oh, yeah! But she scheme on me. Say she take all my money. Oh, yeah! She take my car. Oh, yeah! My virginity. Oh, yeah! Is with her now. Oh, yeah! Not going crazy. Oh, yeah! Can't even sleep. Oh, yeah! Can't even eat. Oh, yeah! I don't want to drink. Oh, yeah! I should've listened to mommy. Oh, yeah! I should've listened to papi. Oh, yeah! Man, this gal had to take my ring. Oh, yeah! I nearly married the golden. I nearly married the golden. I nearly married the golden.
We are back here with our final few minutes of Morning Then Business on this Monday morning. Dwight Strachan along with DeAndre Cartwright with you. All right, so you heard that story out of the UK. The cost of living there, really dampening moods ahead of their general election coming up in a few weeks. But we know all too well about these situations. The cost of living, unbelievable, and the same things mentioned in that story, right? The food, the cost of food in stores, things have gone up a whole lot more than they were before the pandemic, and they haven't come down much, if at all. Some are still going up, and of course we still have the electricity issue, and the bills are high still. And there's so many things. But to make matters worse, it's just, if you heard what's coming out of this budget, their fees that have been, some fees have gone up. They're new fees. They don't want to call them taxes, but that's what they are. And it's all happening. It's a perfect storm because it's the beginning of July. You've got NIB. You've got two sets of NIB for some people going up. The rates are going up for many, and it's just a lot going on.
The burden is getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah. And you wonder what is happening. We hear the government, we hear the prime minister saying they want to ease the burden, but you do have to wonder, right? People are pointing to how this fee structure and this rearranging here is not going to help anybody, but make life more difficult for so many. And I was showing you, Deandra, a bill, something I was importing, and just look at that. You see so clearly the multiple VAT, the fees, between the duty, and then this new air freight terminal handling fee, which is the JDL company that has caused people to resort to near violence when they're asked about it. All these things on top of, again, that's two VAT, duty, and that handling fee on top of all the other things. And how are we making life easier and more affordable for people? I don't understand it.
By taking the onus of responsibility off of the parties that should be responsible, and then creating shell companies or entities that can benefit from these additional funds that are not necessarily going to mitigate or address the actual issue.
I'm going to post this on our pages so people can see the breakdown.
The last time you did that, I think there was severe backlash. Get ready.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna, I'm gonna hide the name of the company, but I want people to see all these things and how something can go from $99 to costing me $153 to bring it in. And I've brought in things that were like $5, and to bring it in was $15. Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't at all. Again, it's not just the cost of living, right? It's just that it's become so complex just to do business. And as you said, with the application of all of these different fees, which are in their own form taxes of a particular sort, it's not just on goods, it's on services, it's on industries and whatnot. And if we really look at all of the different fees, taxes, the increases that are going on, the proposals that are on the table that are scheduled to take effect, this is going to impact our financial industry as a whole.
Is going to?
I mean, it already is. I mean, you have some entities that are trying to figure out if it makes sense to still do business inside this country.
And you remember this. We were talking about this off air, that when VAT was being proposed, we had that massive education campaign from the government at the time, right? And how they were explaining that each step along the way, there'd be VAT applied here, VAT applied there. But the total at the end would only be, which VAT was at that time, 7.5%. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
So here... for the importer, it would be 3.7%. And then for the other person, it would be 3.7%. And then it would, in the end, equal 7.5. But that never happened. It was always each person applied 7.5%. Now, I don't know if they're getting what they got back. But for the consumer, we took the full brunt of it. Everything. And it went up to 12 and it's back down to 10. But it's been a lot. And you will see with this bill, the multiple VAT, along with duty, and now this air freight nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
All on me.
Right. Now
all on you.
If
all
I gotta
on
go
all
buy
of us.
from you, right? I mean, so I got to pay
I have
another
to put,
set of
right.
things.
And plus,
Hey, I got to mock it up, and I got to add
and
that
a
again.
VAT. Right.
Even though they said that it's only supposed to be like one,
No.
right?
So it's tons of VAT and tons of everything, and it's insane. It's insane, but yet working to reduce the cost of living. I don't see it. But when you see this bill, I know you all will tell me you can't be dealing with this company anymore. But it's not just them. It's everything. So between them and the government, I'm being destroyed. Let's just put it like that. But you be the judge. Some text messages as we go to the break. This person says, why is it that every time crime or domestic or mental health people blame it on the cost of living? If that were the case, people in the inner cities would be committing suicide. Huh? I'm confused. But okay. This texter says here, so the outcome of the Afro Expo and the deals done is that the Africans and Caribbean countries will get to sell their goods to the tourists coming to the Bahamas at the cost of us buying a bazaar for them to do so. How does this benefit us again? Well, you could buy the stuff too. No? I mean, you don't want it? What makes you think you don't want it? I don't know. Anyway, wait until businesses using more than 800 megawatts of power start increasing their prices. I wonder what planet the Minister of Energy was on when they thought the energy increases wouldn't affect us. Yeah, definitely. That too, but also you will see that on your own bill. So you're going to get it twice on your own bill, and it'll be passed on to you by the people you do business with. Let's see if you can squeeze that in. No, you're there, caller. You have 10 seconds. Let's see how quickly you can do it. Hi, good morning.
Right?
Hi, good morning.
Okay. I know you to read your Bible, right? Well, what it tells people we live in the end of time. Things will happen in the world. Just the Bible said. These wars, rumors of wars, brothers against brothers, and this is the life we live in. People need to repent. What you think?
Well, I think it's been at least 2,000 years of all of that. So, I mean, it could be a very long, slow crawl to the end. But sure. Deandra, thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me.
I'll be back tomorrow morning. That was a great way to end it. See you tomorrow with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.